With the release date of the first DLC to Forza Horizon 5 right around the corner, I figured I'd go over the base game and give my honest review. We'll be comparing Forza Horizon 5 to previous Forza Horizon titles to see how it stacks up to the competition. Let's go ahead and get started. I'll start off with the assumption that you've never played a Forza Horizon game in your life. If you have, you can just skip this part. I'll mainly be talking about the basic mechanics of Forza Horizon and how they work. Now, the main difference between Forza Horizon and other racing games like Forza Motorsports or Gran Turismo is the arcade-like racing mechanics and the open world setting. Whereas Motorsports and Gran Turismo are going for a more realistic and simulator-style racing experience. I've always preferred the Forza Horizon games because I enjoy the arcade-like mechanics way more. It's a way more casual experience than something like Gran Turismo, especially with the setting of an open world. In these open worlds, you can do whatever you want, whether that be taking part in some road racing, or burning some rubber down a steep, treacherous mountain, or even getting some air in some cross-country events. The choice is completely up to you, and that's what makes the Forza Horizon games so fun to me. You get to mess around with cars that you could never afford to drive in real life, and you have the freedom to do literally whatever you want in the world. Also, any races you do take place on this open world as well. The only difference is the areas are turned into a closed course. However, you are still driving the same streets you would in the open world. So everything you do progression-wise takes place inside the world, which is why I think the open world can make or break a game. If the open world is bad, it will probably ruin the rest of the game, which is why I'll be talking about this game's open world so early on in the video, because the world is absolutely crucial to its success. But before we talk on the open world, I do want to briefly talk about progression in this game and how progression works. There's multiple ways to progress through this game. You can earn credits from winning races. You can unlock wheel spins from leveling up. You can unlock new cars throughout the festival playlist. You can grind out the Super 8 and unlock more cars and more cosmetics and things like that from the Super 8. So there's tons of ways to unlock new things in this game. Credits mainly being used to purchase cars in the auto show and in the auction house. And the way wheel spins work is wheel spins are basically like slot machines for the most part. They're basically like loot boxes from other games, except wheel spins are completely free. You can't pay for wheel spins in this game. They're completely free, and they actually give you really good rewards, most of the time giving you a lot of credits or even a car that you don't own or things like that. And even if it does give you a car that you do own, you have the option to just sell it outright for credits or to gift it to another player. And so I feel that the progression system in this game is actually quite fair. It's really easy to grind up enough credits to last you for the entire time you play the game. It's really easy to make money back on an investment into a new car, especially if you buy them from the auction house, which is by far the cheapest way to get cars in this game. Or if you grind out cars from the festival playlist as well, that's another easy way to get free cars. And so I really love the progression in these games. It's always been really good, but specifically in Forza Horizon 4 and Forza Horizon 5, with the addition of the festival playlist, it added a ton of ways to unlock free cars, and it makes it really easy to just grind out cars. Now, and it also incentivizes players to continue to play the game and to log on every single day to see what the new stuff that's been added is. Now we'll talk about the open world. Forza Horizon 5 takes place in Mexico, which has a lot of different environments and biomes to explore. It's not the Japan that everyone wanted, but Mexico is still significantly better than the Great Britain we got in Forza Horizon 4, which honestly is why Forza Horizon 4 is one of my least favorite entries in the entire Forza Horizon franchise. The entire map looked the same because of the terrible location. Also, there wasn't any fun areas for gameplay either. I can barely remember pretty much anything about that map now that I'm playing Forza Horizon 5. Forza Horizon 5's map reminds me of my favorite game in the series, FH3. FH3 took place in Australia. It had sprawling cities, beautiful beaches, large vast deserts, and damp rainforests, which all of these biomes exist in Forza Horizon 5, except on a way larger scale, because Forza Horizon 5 has the largest map in Forza Horizon history, being 50% larger than its predecessor. This also allows for way more variety in the environment and helps to make a race feel completely different every single time. Honestly, I believe FH5 has one of the best maps in the series, which makes me happy because it means that Turn 10 learned from their mistakes in FH4 and improved on everything that FH4 did right, which we'll get into right now. One of my favorite changes in FH4 is the massive amount of cars. with 460 cars being available at launch and a total of 752 at the end of its lifespan. Forza Horizon 4 had the most amount of cars of any game I had ever played, which FH5 is already following suit with 534 cars on launch, which is significantly more than FH4 at launch. Also, with the continuous content updates from things like the festival playlist that I spoke on earlier and the car pass, I would imagine that FH5 will end up passing the huge 752 cars that were in FH4 at the end of its life. Also, the cars they're choosing to add into the game are really cool in my opinion. The new ways to grind in FH also adds a lot of replayability. The new cars to grind out each week in the festival playlist and the Super 8 adds a ton of content to look forward to each week. Also, the new ability to make custom maps in FH5 adds a ton of potential replayability. There has already been some amazing maps made by the community, and I'm sure there will be way more to come. Now I just want to talk about some of the smaller changes, which most of these will revolve around the customization, which had gotten some really good changes in FH5, like the ability to hear the way your car sounds before leaving the garage. Also, a ton of new body kits were added to the game as well, which I love it when cars get more visual customization options. I honestly wish that every car had more wings and splitter options instead of just the default Forza wings and splitters that look absolutely awful to me and ruins the look of most cars. That's one thing that I hope the next entry focuses on, is adding more customization options to every car in the game, whether that be way more body kits or unique wings and splitters that you can add onto the car, and even allowing us to go more in depth on the customization, like new custom headlights and things like that, would allow for some amazing customization possibilities and would allow for every car on the road to look completely different. Finally, I want to talk about the issues with FH5. There aren't many in my opinion, however I still feel they are worth mentioning. The biggest of these issues being the constant multiplayer issues I've experienced since launch, which consist of constant disconnects from online races and multiplayer in the open world, which leaves the open world with little to no other players to drive throughout, which makes the open world feel empty to me and has really ruined the experience for the first couple months of the game being out. Also, cheaters run rampant on the leaderboards of pretty much everything, which ruins the fun of going for top 1000s on speed zones or anything else similar to that. Also, FH5 is the hardest game to run in the entire franchise, graphically speaking, which isn't surprising considering it is the newest game in the franchise, which it does require a good or modern PC, which if you don't have, you will likely have to lower your graphic settings to low, or in extreme scenarios, just not play the game at all. So before purchasing the game, I would look into whether or not your PC will be able to run this game effectively. However, this game is a graphical masterpiece, I'm not even going to lie. Especially on high or ultra settings, I would go as far to say it was one of the best games graphically speaking in the entire year of 2021. In conclusion, I think this is by far one of the best games that has released in a really long time. And I would 100% recommend this game if you are at all a fan of arcade racing games, especially when it is inevitably put on sale at some point. This game is 100% worth the money they're asking. Forza Horizon has always been one of my favorite series in gaming. I've been playing this series ever since I was young. It makes me happy to see that every new installment has been making major improvements from the previous game. I do eventually plan on doing a video on the Hot Wheels DLC releasing for Forza Horizon 5, so if you guys want to see that, just let me know in the comments down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, I'm sure you enjoyed the video popping up on your screen right now, and if you'd like to help me out, you could just click that video and watch it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.